Hey guys, it's Mark from North 7 Outdoors. Welcome back to another episode. Today we are going to talk about yesterday's tournament at Crowe Lake in Marmora. Not even, I don't know where's Marmora coming out of this. Not even the same river system. So yes, yesterday we were fishing Crowe Lake for the first time, and I'll just kind of do some narrative as I show you some clips, because I know I didn't do a whole lot of filming yesterday, unfortunately. I apologize. So here we go. Alright, what did we catch? Rock bass? Oh, smallmouth. A little 11-incher. First bass on the... Oh, he's warm to the touch. Alright, one down. Yep. Hey, one second. Alright. Alright, so how's your live well thing work again? It's
a knob down here at the bottom. Just turn it.
maybe it's not the knob I'm thinking of. Is it the black knob? Oh, you had to pull it out to push in? Or?
No, just turn it.
I don't hear water coming in. Alright guys, so I throw the first fish in the live well, turn on Lionel's live well knob there, and nothing happens. And he's like, well, I've kind of had some electrical issues. I never turned on the live wells. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, you only have to make sure like 2 things are working. I was like, no way. I was like, I'm gonna freaking cry. Sorry, not even looking at the camera. So I'm like, holy crap. He's like, I think it's a fuse, and I was hoping to God it was like a seized pump. And sometimes the pumps, you grab a pair of like split ring pliers, wherever you happen to have on the boat, you can spin them and they'll take off again. But it wasn't a pump issue, it was some kind of electrical thing under his dashboard, and I was like, frig, are you kidding me? Wasn't happy. I mean, it happens. I'll get over it in time. So I end up MacGyvering it, as this is the hardest I've ever worked all day in a tournament for fishing. So what I ended up doing was I grabbed 2 empty soft plastic lure baggies and kind of balled them up, and he had an older boat that didn't have recirc, which ended up working out okay. Because if we had recirc, I probably would have had to open up my live wells anyways and let it drain out and add new ones intermittently. So there was a slow drain once I jammed the soft plastic baggies into the holes in the live well, and every 15 minutes I had to scoop out a few liters of water, put it into the live well, and that friggin' sucked. Holy moly, my arm is still sore. I don't know how many hundreds of gallons I friggin' manually pumped into that live well. So yeah, freaking out after that. So we're like, alright, let's try and get to the lake, and we'll try and find some people that have live well additive. I'm like, look, if we're gonna do this, I carry G-juice all the time with me. His boat doesn't have recirculation, so it's useless for me to carry G-juice. I'm like, man, I sit on like a gallon of that stuff at any given time, so a little upset about that, but you know, it is what it is. So we went to someone, he's like, I only got a little bit of G-juice, can't help you. I'm like, it sucks, but alright, I understand. Then we went to another team, and they're like, yeah, we'll help you out. They had a little bit of powder of please release me. And I'm like, anything's better than nothing. So Lionel catches a couple small dinks, largemouth. So we have 3 largemouth. I missed one in the river. The river is a 10-kilometer no wake zone. Well, he's slowly there. I'm just on the back, and I'm just peppering spots as I go. And I missed like a 2.5-pound smallmouth. Didn't really fight him too well, to be honest. I should have handled that fish a lot better than I did. I got off at the motor pretty much. So what else? So yeah, so here's Lionel's 2 dinks that he caught. Hey. Yeah, a few years ago. I guess a long time ago now. That's what happens when there's too many Crowe lakes, I guess.
Yeah. Where's my lure?
There we go. Alrighty.
You ain't that big. You might think you are, but you're not.
Maybe I should keep. I'm sure you will. Well. So then, you know, there was nothing about that lake that suggested to us or me, however we were fishing it, and the times and locations we happened to be hitting them at, that the fish were centralized. Like, there's nothing to suggest that. You know, you would just randomly, every few hundred yards, you know, like consistently, like every hour and a half or something, you'd land on a fish worth that would keep. So I catch this guy, which hopefully I've got it on footage. So that was a good fish of the day there. You know, he was over 3.5-ish. Then like another hour and a half went by, catch a little 12.5-inch smallmouth. And I'm like, Lionel, whatever we do, even though your fish might be smaller than this guy, we have to let this one go first, because smallmouth are notoriously, they're not as hardy as largemouth, so they're notoriously bad at being kept alive in live wells, even in the best circumstance. So we fished out there for like another 2 hours. I'm like, holy crap, I cannot believe I've kept these fish alive for like 6 or 7 hours. I'm like, I am a hero. This will go down in the history books of like greatest tournament success in the history of like 15 boat clubbies here. And if we pulled this win off. So Lionel was getting pretty tired, so there's still a couple hours left. So I'm like, alright, well, let's go back to the river system. And the river system is quite a long way before you get to Crowe Lake. And the Crowe River is really nice. It's much clearer than I thought it would be. Lots of ample parking, lots of ramps. So I don't have any more footage, unfortunately. I was exhausted. I worked too hard that day, and I'm still tired. And I get a nice like 2.25, 2.5-pound smallmouth. We call out we got back in the river system. That small smallmouth, it wasn't doing well, and I was like, you know what? It's a 1-pound penalty. This fish is like 1 1/3 pounds or something. I'm just gonna let it go. It swam away okay. I just felt like that fish might not make another hour and a half in that live well, and I was like, you know what, it's not worth killing the fish over, for sure. It's, maybe for 5 pounds we'd have a different conversation, but for that little dink smallmouth, I let it go. It swam away. Ended up catching like a 2.25, 2.5-pound smallmouth. So now we're back to 5. Now we've got a limit again. Then we go. Now there's like an hour left, so I keep fishing. You know, Lionel's like napping away in the console seat, and I'm like, Lionel, net, and I must have startled him out from a slumber. He's like staring at it while he's sitting. I'm like, oh my god! I was like losing my crap over that one. So I'm like, all right, I'll just boat flip it. If it breaks the rod, it breaks the rod. It is what it is. So I ended up boat flipping that one. That guy was a little over 3. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, we need to get rid of one of your 12-inch largies here. Sorry, we got rid of one, then we gotta get rid of the other, and we actually have a shot. So we fished for like another 20 minutes. I checked at like 2:40, weigh-ins at 3 o'clock. It looked to me like the fish weren't doing well. So I'm like, hey Lionel, we gotta go. We're going now, and we're hoping that someone's setting up scales, because I don't think these fish are gonna live another half hour. And we get to the weigh-in station, and we were only there like 10 minutes early. And I'm like, man, I gotta go first. I gotta weigh in first. My fish are not doing well. And I actually checked, ironically, when I checked again, they're all upright and doing fine. They all swam away. Somehow that's a miracle. You do what you have to keep your fish alive. I'm paying the price for that today. I'm sore. I don't know how many hundreds of gallons I moved through that live well. So the report is, I guess we had 14 pounds. I didn't think we had 14 pounds. Must have counted like the container or something. I don't know. But I was kind of shocked that I thought we might even like sneak up on third, but we were like 6th or something. Like we were right in the middle of the pack. I'm like, that like fished way better than I thought it would. I thought 2 fish over like 3 pounds, a couple 2-pounders. That one dink killed us. You know, if I handled that 2.5-pound smallmouth right, I still wouldn't have cut a check, but we would have been right there. So I definitely could have used the extra 1.5 pound call. But that's life. So we're coming into the Classic, guys. We're coming into the Classic, and we're right there. I think maybe we might be like 2 pounds behind the leader, give or take. I'm not 100%. So you know, we have to have a good day on buckhorn. No excuses there. I would like to catch a largemouth over 5 pounds, so I've got my shot at back-to-back big largies for the year. I was winning that for a little bit earlier this year. For like a day I had it. The next day I didn't. The way it works, but hopefully I finish off with that buckhorn. I have a feeling it's going to be monster bags there. All I can do is try, and you know, and this is my philosophy, I think I did okay. I think we, you know, like I said, I guess we weighed in 14 pounds. You know, everything about that lake is kind of what my theory is. You know, you make enough casts, you cover enough water, sooner or later you'll connect into them. You know, other than that 2.5 pound smallmouth, and you know, anything over 3 I landed that day. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. So thank you guys for watching. You know, still I'm doing this before I'm editing the video. I'm not sure what kind of content was there. I know I didn't get a lot. Sorry about that. Boat ramp's nice. Parking's nice. The river, you know, if it's super windy out, you could spend the day in that river. It's a big enough river. And it's deep too. You know, it's 15, 20 feet deep in spots. So I will probably go back to Crowe Lake for sure. It only being like a half hour from my house. Next video, well, if you may have guessed, this isn't my normal boat, so maybe my next video is talking about the boat I'm sitting in right now. So thank you guys for watching, and take care.